Welcome to the Trend Talk. Thank you for joining us. We have a fun episode, so let's get going.
And today we will be speaking to an entrepreneur, the East LA LATINAPreneur, as I have dubbed her. And then we're going to go to our trending travel segment where we will be visiting Echo Park.
Oh yes, I cannot wait. But first, I wanted to do a quick check-in about how we, the world, how we're all feeling about this semi-post-pandemic. Is it really over? You know, some say that it'll never be the same. Are we going back to normal? What do you think, Belle?
No. I don't think, I really seriously don't think there is going to be a back to normal. I think there is a new normal, and I think we all have to be good with that. You know, there's so many things that are good and some bad.
Well, on that note, I mean, definitely during the pandemic, a lot of people have blossomed. I mean, they've started businesses. They spend more time with their kids. They're working from home and happily doing so. They're starting, to study more. So what do you think?
They also spend a lot more time with their pets. My daughter was telling us that her dog got used to them being around during the pandemic, and now that things are starting to open up, they're like having trouble with her, like missing them.
For the panicking, anxiety.
Yes. But you know, there's also other things, you know, those are the positive, but there's other things like, for instance, you know, getting a reservation for a restaurant, it's harder to do. I was looking for a reservation and either they're not open and they only do curbside or delivery, or they have limited hours.
Right.
So, you know, that kind of stuff that we took for granted is something that I don't think it's going to come back.
Right. Well, also people are losing employees because they've decided, actually, no, I don't want to go to work for that amount of money, so I'd rather stay home.
And a lot of people went into business for themselves.
And on that note, an Axios Ipsos survey recently published found that nearly 25% surveyed think normal life will resume within the next 6 months to a year. 22% say they've already returned to normal life, while 10% believe it never will.
I'm with the 10%. I don't think it's ever going to go back to normal. Like I started off saying, it is the new normal. And we just have to roll with the punches because we did point out the positive and the negatives. Because the BBC point blank asked the question, is going back to normal even possible? And I say no.
Well, you know, Belle, again, back to the positive, major sports events, they are reopening to capacity crowds. There's a lot more indoor restaurants opening, concerts. I mean, the point is that as long as you're wearing a mask, there's more air travel available to you. And, this is something we really have to continue to think about, to be vaccinated and wear your masks. I mean, it's a blessing. It's something we can actually do. And so, of course, we're going to continue to encourage people to get vaccinated and masked.
Because you don't wear a mask for yourself. You wear it to protect your family. Because if you're out and you don't have a mask, you come back and you leave, all of the flu, hopefully. But, one of the good things that I like is that companies are no longer going to be requiring people to come. There's going to be a lot more remote employment, which is a good thing because traffic is going to be less. And it's just good for families because families get to be with their families, with their children, be there for homework. So, it is a new normal, and we have to embrace it.
Well, the great news is that we can do something about it. Continue to wear your mask, get vaccinated. Let's all stay healthy so we can cheer the Dodgers more often, okay? Well, listen, we are going to have so much fun on our trending travel segment to Echo Park. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Happy Meal?
El café más grande que tengan, por favor.
A Big Mac, please.
Un cono de vainilla. Chocolate caliente, por favor. Yo invito.
Yes.
Un Happy Meal. Mejor 2. 3.
No pickles.
Ketchup extra y es todo. Una cosita más.
Siempre nos has acompañado y queremos que nos sigas acompañando. Con My McDonald's Rewards, ahora cada orden viene con puntos canjeables por McDonald's gratis.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today on our Trending Travels, we bring you to Echo Park Lake.
This is not only one of LA's most popular places, but this natural habitat is a one-of-a-kind community where you can cruise across the water on a swan boat.
Since 1895, Echo Park Lake has been a botanical and wildlife haven. It's always teeming with people because there are a lot of activities going on, like the Dragon Boat Race, or my favorite, the Lotus Flower Festival.
This beautiful park has also been featured as a location for many Hollywood productions, from the early days of movie making with Charlie Chaplin to contemporary hits such as
Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson, and most recently, How to Be a Latin Lover, starring Eugenio Derbez.
Hey Val, I remember coming to Echo Park Lake to ride the paddle boats with my dad because we'd always come and visit my Puerto Rican grandmother up the street.
Wow, you know, I have never taken a ride on a swan boat. So, are you game?
Are you kidding? Let's do it. Oh, this is so much fun. You know what, Val? In July, when they have the Lotus Flower Festivals, there are no swan paddle boats because it is filled with lotus flowers. I want to tell you a story about a friend, the late Randy McDonald. He had an aquatic nursery. On one of these festivals, he came and cut a bit of a lotus flower and took it back to his aquatic nursery and cultivated it. Many years later, they were having some problems. The lotus flowers here at Echo Park were dying, and Randy McDonald saved the day.
Do you know that when you're on any part of this lake, you can see Our Lady of the Lake, and also the beautiful downtown Los Angeles skyline? So don't go away, we'll be right back on the Trend Talk with our special guest.
Refréscate con la original Bravo Cola Champán. Sabor único, siempre contigo.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back. So today I get to speak about one of my favorite topics, Latina entrepreneurs, or as I call them, LATINAPreneurs. Today we have Veronica Sanchez. And do you know, Veronica, that Latinas are the #1 group that opens businesses in the U.S.? We're fregonas, right?
We are.
And so today we're going to talk to Veronica because Veronica's family started in the business of McDonald's. And we're going to learn all about how that works. And she is owner and operator of her own McDonald's, which is the one we're in. And so I want to welcome you to the Trend Talk, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining us because I'm excited to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
First of all, let's get to know you a little bit. So we're in a McDonald's that's on Whittier. And by the way, your family has 36 McDonald's franchises. So that if you live in LA, you probably have been to one of their restaurants, McDonald's restaurants, right?
Yes.
So tell us about growing up. Where did you grow up and how did you end up in the business of McDonald's?
We're actually located in our restaurant in East Los Angeles. So I actually grew up about 4 blocks away from here. So I was born and raised in East Los Angeles, California.
And you went to school around here? Tell us about school.
I went to school in Alhambra. I went to Ramona Convent for high school, and then I went to Loyola Marymount for college, which is located in Westchester. So I am a very thoroughbred Latina, a Latina in Angelina.
And Angelina. I grew up close by, Boyle Heights. So we're kind of neighbors.
We
were neighbors when we were growing up. So tell us about how you started working at the McDonald's. Because first of all, tell us how the family got into being a franchisee for McDonald's.
So it started with my parents. My father, especially, he was a dean at East Los Angeles College, and he wanted to create generational wealth for his family. He wanted to leave a legacy. He wanted to leave something that he could hand down to his children. At that time, he had my older brother and my older sister. So he wanted something that he could leave to them. So he wrote a letter to McDonald's saying he was interested in becoming a franchisee. He told them about their background, and they accepted him into their registered applicant program, and a couple years later he was a franchisee.
And tell us what that means to be a franchisee. Because like a friend of mine was just saying, that people think that one person owns all of the McDonald's all across the country and the world. So tell us how that works, the franchise.
The franchisees of McDonald's, we operate all of our restaurants as their own small business, but we do have guidelines and regulations set forth by McDonald's that we need to abide by. So we have a franchise agreement with McDonald's. However, when it comes to all of the everyday decisions, we make those just like any other small business owner would make.
Right, so basically when a franchisee is asking to use the name, but it's your business, yes. You operate it, and you, whatever profit, it goes to you.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so tell us about how old you were when you started working at McDonald's, unofficially and officially.
So unofficially, I was probably about 14. And my parents would drop me off when I wasn't in school. They would drop me off in the morning, tell the manager, okay, use her wherever you need her. So I would be wiping down trays, I would be in the drive-thru, I would be in the lobby, front counter, French fries. So they would use me wherever they needed me. And officially, probably in 2016, I started working with McDonald's.
Okay. Directly?
Yes. Uh-huh. So after I finished college, I went to Cal State LA. I got my MBA. So after I finished the MBA program, I approached my dad and I told him, I love McDonald's. I haven't found a company that I love as much. I have the ketchup in my blood, and I want to come on board. And at that time, my sister and my brother had already been involved in McDonald's, so he was obviously very happy. This is what he envisioned when he first started. So it was a really
So you
good
went
moment.
into the family business.
I did.
And this is the one that you own and operate.
This is the one. Yes, one of the locations I own and operate.
Oh, that's awesome. And then also, we were talking a little bit earlier, and I was asking you about, did your friends go, oh, you're so cool, you have your family owns a McDonald's. And tell us about that story, about how.
So we actually, when I was in high school, a number of my friends actually asked us for jobs. So my dad would hire them, and it was kind of a fun, so we would go to school, and then on the weekends we would all work at McDonald's together, so it was really fun, and I had a lot of friends that I worked with in the McDonald's, so it was definitely something growing up that was very instilled in me.
And tell us about your family. I think that you have siblings and they all own a McDonald's themselves?
Yes, I have an older brother. He owns and operates restaurants in San Diego and Orange County. And my older sister, she operates restaurants in San Bernardino County. But we're still all one organization. We all work together, but we're a little bit spread out.
What is the hardest part of running a business, and what brings you the most joy?
The hardest part is, just having your own business, making sure that you're making the right decisions, especially within the last 18 months. Just the pivot we've had to make. Luckily, McDonald's had already started to focus on drive-through digital ordering with our app and also delivery. So we already had the foundations, but just really pivoting and focusing on that, since we were not allowed to open our dine-in for a number of months. And just trying to make the best business decisions, not only to keep our customers safe, but to keep our employees safe, to keep just the whole community safe, but still be there for our community, because at that time it was a lot of uncertainty, and we knew that if we were not able to provide and be there for our community, that would cause a lot of panic. I had friends calling me, "You guys are not closing, right? As long as McDonald's is open, I know we're gonna get through this. I know we're gonna be fine." So that was definitely always on our mind.
And you also have a lot of longtime employees.
Yes, we do. We have, our director of operations has actually been with us for 32 years, and we actually have generational employees. So their parents worked for my parents, and now their son and daughter are working for us. So it really is a family business, and I think that's one of the most rewarding things about being in this business is you see they start maybe as 15 or 16-year-old kids. They have these ambitions, and they work with us for a number of years. We help them get through high school. Maybe we help them get through college, and just seeing them grow as people and knowing we had a little bit of a part in that probably is the most rewarding thing of this.
It's like a big extended familia.
Yes.
Because you're a family. So
yes.
This is your restaurant, but you run it, and it's that same pattern repeats itself across the other 35 restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah. So also, we were talking about how you're now in a position to give back, and you work with the Downtown Women's Center, LA Women's Center. So tell us about how you work with that center.
In 2019, we started working with the Downtown LA Women's Center, and a big part of it is because when you look at downtown, the downtown area and surrounding areas of Los Angeles, there's so much homelessness, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about homelessness. It's not all mentally unstable, or a lot of them have just had bad breaks. Maybe, rent is so high in Los Angeles, you lose your job, or, maybe your partner passes away and all of a sudden you're homeless. So we really wanted to give these women another chance to achieve whatever their goals are. So we started hiring within the Downtown LA Women's Center, and actually was a really good fit because we do have programs. They're called Archways to Opportunity. So in those programs, there is one that is English Under the Arches. So any person who English is not their first language, we help them learn English, provided by McDonald's, and also tuition assistance. So if they're taking junior college classes and maybe they have a scholarship or no scholarship and they need help paying for it, they just submit an itemized bill and we send them a check. McDonald's helps as well with those costs. And lastly is the GED program. The high school diploma program. It is not a GED, it is a high school diploma. So if for some reason you were not able to finish high school, you can achieve that goal while working at McDonald's as well. And everything is online. You work at your own pace, so maybe someone who had a year left and couldn't finish. So it really is tailored to that person.
So not only good food, but you also
Yes.
get help with your education.
Yes.
That's great, especially in our communities that we need that guidance. We need that little lift for everyone to, go to college, because education is power, and that's where we all should be. You also have a partner with Beauty to the Streets, and that was a really wonderful program. Tell everybody what that is about.
Yes, so Beauty to the Streets is actually a program that she provides makeovers to the residents of Skid Row, because when you look good, you feel good. So that is really her mission. And we help her provide the lunch for the people of Skid Row.
Oh, that's very good. And then you're also do the charities with McDonald's, right?
Yes.
Tell us about those
So
charities.
McDonald's does have a charity. It's called Ronald McDonald House Charities. So we're very involved, and because we're spread out, we help with each of the different houses. There's a number of houses throughout Southern California, and actually they are just starting a brand new house in West Los Angeles, and my dad is actually spearheading that effort. Wow. So it's something that he's really proud of, and we're all really proud of him that he's taking that on. When he's supposed to be slowing down, but he's full steam ahead.
And a little bit, let's backtrack a little bit, because your family history is, I think, important to this, because it is a story that began with an immigrant who came to the States, which was not your dad, but it was his parents, right?
Yes. So my grandparents were immigrated from Mexico. They immigrated from Morelia, and my dad was the first generation. And I think that's why we're so involved in our communities, and we want to give back our communities, because they did not they came with nothing. My dad, he started, he didn't have money, and a lot of people along his journey helped him. So he always instilled that in us, that when we got to the position where we could help people, that we needed to do that, and we needed to take people along with us as we are improving our financial situation, or improving our businesses. We needed to take people who are not as fortunate with us.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Veronica. It is amazing. I always wondered what franchises were and how they worked. I knew what they were, but how they worked. And it seems like it's a powerful group of owners who also give back to the community. Yes. And that's what's important. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for giving back to the community. And thank you for being a great example for Latinas who want to get out there and be entrepreneurs. She is the LATINAPreneur of East LA.
Thank you.
Un hamburger Happy Meal?
El café más grande que tengan, por favor.
A Big Mac, please.
Un cono de vainilla. Chocolate caliente, por favor. Yo invito.
Yes.
Un Happy Meal. Mejor 2. 3.
No pickles.
Ketchup extra y es todo. Una cosita más.
Siempre nos has acompañado y queremos que nos sigas acompañando. Con My McDonald's Rewards, ahora cada orden viene con puntos canjeables por McDonald's gratis.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Our Trend Talk Trendsetter shout out goes to the Ronald McDonald House Program. This global effort supports families with children experiencing illness or needing surgery, offering a helping hand to alleviate financial burdens. Ronald McDonald House has helped over $443,000 in expenses for so many families. We applaud the Ronald McDonald House Program.
Many thanks to our guest, Veronica Sanchez, for joining us, and you as well for joining us here on the Trend Talk.
Tune in every Sunday on the MeTV LA local station for our new episodes, or to see our award-winning episodes, go to our YouTube channel, IGTV, or watch us on Facebook Watch.
And remember, if it's trending,
we're talking.
holiday season, visit our online retail store, limonadala.com, to get unique gifts from shirts, jewelry, tote bags, wall art, masks, and more. We have something for everyone. And now until the end of the year, everything is 10% off. Just use code YEAREND2020. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at LimonadaLA to get updates on our products. Happy holidays, everyone.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.